This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we discussed about the, I think there is an echo, right? Vinod, can you go on mute, please?
Yeah.
So we discussed about the master data type we created on our own, right? We activated them, we loaded some data through the template and directly as well, right? And now we'll go to the key figures. So we'll create several key figures, which are the custom ones, and we'll see that, for example, we can create n number of key figures. So what we'll do is we'll create one key figure called as to store the capacity. Uh, let's take it in this way. Let me remove this. Key figures, and we know that key figures are associated with the planning levels, right? So let's say that planning level. So one key figure, we can, for example, create the standard available capacity. One more key figure we can create, like the, what is the final available capacity. One we can create, for example, what is the consumed capacity. So let's say that whatever is available, we subtract whatever is consumed, right? And then we get, for example, the final available capacity. After subtracting this and this, first and third, let's say that we are getting the final available capacity. And then let's take one flag. So whenever is that maintenance period, so let's say that this is a flag which will have the value 1 or 0. So let's say what we are doing into the system, we are just maintaining a flag. If it is 1, it means that that particular week we have some kind of maintenance happening, and if it is a 0, let's say that there is no maintenance happening, or if it is a blank, then also there is no maintenance happening. And to have this consumed capacity, that how much we have consumed, it means that how many number of hours that we have consumed. So you remember we have a duration attribute, and we were talking about that particular stuff we need to make it as attribute as a key figure. So let's say that we have a maintenance job duration as well. So how many number of hours have been consumed? Serial number. Key figures. This one we will make it as attribute as a key figure. So let's say that standard available capacity, I want to store it at a resource location level. So what are my resources, at what location they are available? Let's say that I want to do it at that level. So that level, um, when I will see, that will be already available, uh, you know, uh, in our standard one. So for example, that will be available as week, resource, and then location. Week, resource, and location. So let's say that this is one level. And next one, also we want to store the data at this level. Let's say that we have this. So consumed capacity is something that I want to take it as, at the maintenance job level as well. Apart from the resource location, it should also take all that master data type what we have just designed, right, yesterday, that maintenance job, what kind of activity that is. Some kind of dry cleaning is happening, some kind of oil um, cleaning is happening, or water cleaning is happening, right? So that will not be as a standard one. So maybe we'll create one planning level which is at the maintenance job level, right, to suffice our requirement. So we'll just say week, and then we need resource location, and let's say that that is also at the maintenance job level. So this maintenance start period, let's say that this is also at the same level. This is a custom one. So with wherever it is a Z1, it is a custom one. And then this attribute as a key figure also, when we'll be making this attribute maintenance job duration, and we will promote it to a key figure, that will become as attribute as a key figure. That also will associate, we have to associate with the planning level, because every key figure has to be associated with a planning level. So this attribute, when we are promoting it to a key figure, this also has to be at planning level. So let's say that this duration, job duration, we are maintaining it for a particular maintenance job type, right? So let's take this as also a planning level, this one. So let me just put it a standard planning level. Yes or no? It is a standard planning level? Yes, yes, no, no, no. So this document will give us a clear picture that how much of work, we need to plan. For example, definitely these many key figures are the custom key figures we need to create. right? And then on the planning level, here we have yes, it means that in standard they are available, but this is the Z1 we need to create it. So it means that this also we need to create. So we will get some kind of idea that, in terms of effort estimation, that this is what we need to do, right? So let me just put it this way. And now this one, we can just take it in our PPT. Now this is what we will achieve. So now let me go to the system. I'm going to an app called as planning area. So I'm going to our planning area, what we have taken. Now it is in active state. So we learned that any new configuration we do, this state will become inactive and we need to activate it again. So now if we see that, uh, you know, here we have certain planning levels which are already available as a standard one. So let's say that if I search this one, this is at a resource location level, this is already available. So whenever we do a kind of capacity planning, so there the resource will be already available. We need to include resource as well, right? Because we'll do a capacity planning for a resource at a particular, for a particular plant as well. We call it as location. So this is available, but our Z1 will not be available. So what we'll do, our first step, right? We need to create this one. We need to create the ones which are not available. So this is what I can do is for a ease, I can just, select this and I can, this is already there. I can select it and then I can copy, and then it is asking me which is that new planning level name. So what is that new planning name I want to give? Maybe this one. Let me just copy it and I'll give it here. I'll say copy. So this is the one. Now I can go into the edit mode. So what is that uh, description I want to give here? So the description that I want to give here is I also want to have the maintenance job here in this one, right? And now if we see that when we copied, it has copied the location and resource. So I'll just click on add. I also want to copy what we created earlier as a part of maintenance job. So let's search, right? So we have this uh, job type, the technician name, right? And then this job ID. So let's say that I want to copy, I want to include this as well. And this is a key which is already a part of this master data type. I'm just adding it. And this job ID, this is a key. I want to keep it as a root attribute. So here the location ID, which is a key, is a root attribute. Resource in terms of resource ID. So description is not a unique key, but definitely you will have a unique ID in the resource. So that also you have a resource ID as a root attribute. So after defining this, I've given the name which is starting from Z so that I can understand that this is a new one that we are creating it. So now let me just save it. So now this is the planning level that was our first requirement, right? And then we need to create now these key figures. So this one, it is already there as an attribute. We will promote it to an attribute as a key figure. So what will be the difference between a normal key figure and attribute as a key figure, right? So let's say that this is a key figure, maintenance job duration. There is some data at week 1 in several weeks. So for example, in the master data for this particular attribute, I just save the data as duration as 50. Then that 50 will be extended along the horizon, whatever is available. It will be copied automatically. I don't have to, load the master data to this attribute as a key figure. All of this, for example, if I know that, 50 hours it is going to take every week, right? In the master data, I'll go and then set 50 hours at one place, then it will extend to all the horizon, right? It will copy. And how much it has to copy, right? So while defining, we will tell to the system that, let's say that starting from now, starting from current week, it has to copy further for 52 weeks. 52 weeks is 1 year. right? It has to copy for 1 year. So then it will just copy that 50 to that horizon of 52 weeks. After that, it won't copy. After that, if we see the data, it will be just, blank. Up till 52 periods, it will copy. If you have given in the definition while configuring it. So let us go into the system and start it from, because this we already have, let us start it from the maintenance job duration that we have as an attribute, and let us promote it to an attribute as a key figure. So I'm going into the system. So planning level we already created now and we saved it. I'm going back. So we'll use this planning level into the custom key figures according to the requirement that we have drawn now. So this is my attribute section. Okay, so in this section, okay, we have taken the priority, and then where is that duration? We haven't marked it as attribute ID. Let me search it here again. CHS. Okay, for this duration, we want to create it as attribute as a key figure. So I went into this section. Let me commit from the beginning. So I went to planning area app. Within the planning area app, I am into this section called as attribute as key figure. So for what attribute I want to create as a key figure? I want to create as a key figure for the duration. So why it was not showing me here in the attribute? Because we learned that, wherever an attribute is a decimal, right, it will not allow us to add. So that's why it was not available in that section, right? So now we are in this section ASKF. I'm clicking on this new button. I'm telling to the system what is that attribute that I want to promote it as an key figure. So I'll select that one. And now it is asking me every key figure we need to associate the planning level, at what level we want to plan that data, right? Even if it is an attribute as a key figure, we are promoting it to the key figure, so we have to give it, right? So just now we created a planning level, which is a Z planning level, this one. So how many periods we want to copy the data? Here we will give. Start, starting from current, let me give it as 0, and then till what time period I want to do that, till for the whole 52 weeks, and this will be the key figure ID, and let me just save it.
If we give the negative number to go back to the previous weeks, correct? The -1 means to go to the previous week.
Yes, exactly, like this, -24 to +24.
I have a question. So this planning level, do you have to make it as a component attribute because you have the week
No,
location?
planning level is by default, you will take it as a multi-level. So you don't have a concept of, simple and compound in the planning level. In the planning level, it will be, you need to decide it has to be, at a product location level, at a product customer level. So you need to add those attributes. For example, now if we go to a planning level, this is what. So what all attributes we have added? Resource we have added, location we have added, and then that M job what we created we have added. So if we go to this attribute, this will have two attributes. One will be resource, one will be location. So by the nature it is compound, but you don't have to specifically mention that that it is a compound. So there is no concept of simple and compound for the planning level. It is only for the master data type.
Okay.
All right, so this is what we just now created, and we see that it is inactive. Okay, we'll activate it at one shot. Later, the planning area. Okay, so now we have other set of key figures, right? So let us create, one by one. So let's go first with this standard available capacity. So this one we are done. This one is done now. Now we are going to the standard available capacity. So I'm going back to the screen. Let me go to the tab called as key figure, and here if I go to new, so we have learned, there are different kind of key figures, so we'll study about them as well. We can create, we just created the attribute as a key figure, right? So we can create a normal key figure, we can also create a helper key figure. So for example, we are writing a calculation, and that calculation is little complex and big. So what you used to do in your earlier programming languages, you were calling uh, the sub function module, right, in your main program. So in the sum function module, you are writing some logic and you are calling it in your main program so that you can reuse it. So similarly, helper key figure, you can write some calculation and call it in your main key figure where you are writing the logic. So we'll see all this stuff. For now, I'm clicking on this key figure, and I'll give some technical name to it. So I'll start with, as a best practice, whatever key figure you are creating on your own, those are the custom key figures. So always start with Z letter, and let me give some name, standard available capacity. description, HS standard available capacity, and then base planning level. We'll go to our requirement sheet. So, whenever you get some requirement, uh, you will be doing some kind of documentation as well. So in that documentation, if you do this kind of charting, it will be easy for you to just go and then, do that requirement. Or if you give this document to your buddy, he will be able to see it and then configure it according to this maps, right? So this is the planning level. I want to go with a standard one. So I will just give it here, weak resource location, and I want to store some data in this one, right? So this is a stored key figure. I don't want to write any calculation in this. So let's say that, this data, um, maybe I'm allowing the planner to fill some data directly into this key figure. If I want to do that, what I'll do is I'll say edit allow is, let's say, all editable. And we have different, if I want to allow it only in the current or future period, then for the past period, the cells will be grayed out. Or I want to do it only for the past period. Let's say that it's a sales history kind of stuff. Sales history will definitely come from the your S4 system, EC system, so you will never make it editable. But if such kind of key figures you want to make it editable, you can make it editable in the past. If you do it all editable, then it will it will be allowed to edit for all the periods. So aggregation mode and all will just, I'll explain you with one example. So for now, you keep it as sum, but if you want, you can keep it, um, you can take the maximum of it. So for example, you have a key figure kind of, you are storing a stock, right? So stock is something that, you want to take uh, the latest stock out of it. So whichever is the maximum, period. So let's say the latest week is this week. So it should consider the latest stock, right? For the other key figures, for example, you have some values at the location resource level. Now you want to see it at a location level. So what it will do, it will aggregate, it will sum up the values at the, at that particular level which you want to request to the system, so that it will do the aggregation, sum, and then do that. All that, aggregation and disaggregation modes are available. So we'll study about those ones. So whenever we do the disaggregation, it has to be the, equal distribution, or it has to be in the proportions, that promotion, this proportion can be based on another key figure as well. So let's say that, in another key figure, we are giving it the percentages, like 80% should be the proportion of 500. So in those kind of proportion activities, we'll do the disaggregation and we'll select this. And if we want to design our own, disaggregation expression, we can do as well. So we'll see that this in some several examples. As of now, I want to just keep it simple. I want to create, few key figures uh, where we'll keep the aggregation mode as sum. And you will see that by default, we have a request level, and this statement will come that it want to do the sum at this level. How you will understand this particular uh, stuff is, so let's say that we have designed this maintenance job, duration, all that stuff. So let me take it in a different sheet to explain you so that you will be able to relate it. Let's say that we have something called as maintenance job ID, and then you have location ID, you have resource ID, right? So your maintenance job ID, location ID, and resource ID. What else you can have? Let's say that you have those key figures. This is nothing, this is your planning view. You are just displaying the data for a particular key figure. Let's say that what is that key figure that you are designing now is the standard available capacity, right? So now this is available at a resource. This is the resource 1. This is available at a location. This is location 1. So let's say that this belongs to America region, right? And then what is that job ID you want to do? So if you see that standard available capacity is at the level resource and location. So maintenance job is not there in it, right? So how the system will show you when you ask this query and you have also selected this attribute called as maintenance job ID, it will show you as none. Because your base planning level for this to store the data is at location and resource ID. And if you have selected this maintenance job ID, it will show you as this none, because this is not applicable for this. Similarly, for the final available capacity also is at this level. Copy, paste, and I will say this as final available capacity. So let's say that I'm viewing the data for particular weeks, for week 1, week 2, like this. So this is my heading, and these are my values. So guys, please pay attention if you are new to this. So this one, final available capacity. Now what all I have is the consumed capacity, right? Consumed capacity is also at the level other than resource location. It is also at the level maintenance job. Let's say that here I'm doing as well consumed capacity in this table. So this is definitely there. And apart from that, I have the job ID as well. So what is my job ID? What kind of job I'm doing for that particular resource. So let's say that it's a wash I'm doing. I'm doing a dry wash. I'm doing a water wash, right? With chemicals, I'm doing a wash. So with chemical wash, this is my consumed capacity. So pay attention. Let's say that this is 20, this is 10, right? Now what I want to do is I want to request this data, consumed capacity data, at, let's say, location and resource level. So what it will do, so I'm telling to the system that I want to see this data at location and resource level, but my planning level, base planning level for this is what? Job ID, location resource, or location resource maintenance job ID. This is the level that I'm saving the data. But if I want to see it at a location resource level, then how it will show me? It will aggregate this, because if you see this value is same, this value is same, it will aggregate, and 20 plus 10, it will become 30, and it will take up here as 30. So why I want to aggregate it? Let's say that I have my final available capacity. I want to calculate with whatever is the standard available minus consumed capacity. So this final available capacity is at the level, location resource level, right? So I want to bring the consumed capacity at the same level, do that aggregation so that this calculation becomes easy for me. So now this will be also at this level. I have just aggregated it. So this is how internally the aggregation will happen. So now guys, I'm giving you the examples, so just try to relate it, because this is what uh, this calculations will mean that, and uh, you know the levels that we are talking about, you'll be more clear with such kind of examples. Please pay attention here. And then
Yeah.
similarly, like, yeah,
So, question at request meaning that. So basically, in the line number 5, that's what meaning is at request. What is the at request meaning?
sorry, what is that?
The question is at request. You put that at request, right? If you go to the
Yeah, at what level you want to request that data. So technically, you know you will have this particular request level. By default, it will take the first statement into your key figure, even if it is not a calculated key figure. But this statement, at a request level, will be by default in your key figure, that at what level you want to request that data. So later you want to request it at different levels. For example, at the quarter level, at the month level, you can append that, and we will see several kind of
okay.
calculations that we'll be writing into. But by default, this request level will be associated with, it is doing the sum, and it is at weekly resource location. Standard capacity will be saved here, and whenever you request to the system uh, at this particular level, the data will be visible to you. So
So
this
when
is
I
by,
request for a week and location, so it will really
yeah,
come on week and location level, not the resource level, correct? You basically sum up.
yeah, it will sum up exactly. And now if you do at a resource level, it will just aggregate at a resource level and then show you up, right? So at a resource level also you have the same data, but let's say that you have at another location. So this thing, if I copy paste it here, and let's say that now this is at location 2. Let's say that we have two locations where this resource is extended, and we have something here as, let's say, 35, and now you are requesting the data at a resource level. Then this resource, it will just aggregate 30 plus 35, it will become 65. Understood?
Yeah, so here the location is not coming into picture. Overall resource, right? For
Yeah,
that
if you are
resource
seeing
capacity.
the data at the, yeah, if you are seeing the data, if you are requesting the data at the, yeah,
Resource
just
level.
1 second, please. Yeah, we are requesting the data at a resource level. Then what it will do is it will just, take this data at the resource level, it will aggregate it, and then it will sum it up. Yeah.
That case, when we are requesting the report, the column B and C will not be visible, right? Only the column D will be visible in the report.
Yes.
The
I mean,
request level.
what attributes that we have given in that planning view, those will be visible. And wherever it is not applicable, for example, the standard available capacity is not applicable for this maintenance job, but in the same view we are giving several key figures which are at different levels, right? So now we have studied that these are the key figures in sheet 1. These are at different levels, right? Now in one sheet, if we want to view all such key figures which are at different levels, so wherever it is not applicable, it will just show as none, like this.
Yeah. My question is other way around actually. So when I am requesting at the resource level only for the line number for 5 and 6, for example, so it will basically show the 30 plus 35 is equal to 65, right? For example, the column is B and C is not there, only the resource and week is there, and then there's a consumed capacity is there. Then it's going to sum up 30 and 35 and then show me the result of 65.
Yeah, that's what we just now discussed, right? That
Okay,
is
cool.
what.
Okay. That's what the request level meaning. Okay, I got it now. Thank you.
So HS, it will show one line item in the report, right?
Yeah. I mean, if we are requesting at a resource ID level,
Yes.
so we will
Yeah,
just
got
select
it.
resource ID. It will show you up whatever you have selected in your
Yeah.
edit view. So remember, we have an edit view in the SAP IBP. We'll go after we create all this, so you will be able to recall that. So in
Okay.
the edit view section, whichever attributes that we select, it means that at that level we want to see that data. So only
Yeah.
that will show. Yeah.
So can we drill down and drill across like we do in analytics, those reports here?
Yeah, you need to go to that edit view, and then
Okay.
you need to so different templates you can create, and then save it in your favorites with different views. So at
Okay.
in that whichever view you want to go, you can just go into your favorites, and then you can load it. So you can have multiple
Okay.
views,
Yeah.
save it in your favorite, or at a time you can just go to the edit view and then do those changes uh, uh, as per your requirement in the edit view. All right, very good. So now where were we? We were creating this particular key figure. We have already saved it. And now let me go back. What is this? We haven't saved it, I think. Let me save it.
So in the Excel, the second sheet you just explained now, right? So
Yes,
that is just for the understanding that is not
correct.
what we are
Yeah,
going
exactly.
to, yeah, exactly. Okay.
No, we will relate it with this. So this is for definitely for understanding, and for example, after we have created these key figures, what we are just discussing, right?
Yeah, and the
So
sheet one, right?
the system, yeah, will load some data in this way, and we will see
Mm-hmm.
that how we have written the calculation. For example, this final available capacity, we will not give any values, but it should uh, show me that whatever is the standard available capacity minus, it should subtract it by aggregating it. It should subtract and give me the final available capacity. So all that we will see. So if you are clear with this, it will be easy for us to, go into that key figures and uh, you know see that related to this example, so that it will be easy for us.
And which model we can relate this kind of key figure and analysis? Is it
This
supply,
is this
response, and supply?
no. Response and supply is a very separate stuff. This you can relate it with the topic called as capacity planning.
Capacity planning.
Planners will all, yeah, some planners will do this capacity planning. So they will be dealing with such kind of requirement, you know. So
Yeah,
by
that is also called RCCP, right? Rough cut capacity planning.
no, you mean the rough cut planning?
So yeah, I mean the tactical level, right? Operational
Yeah,
level is the
exactly.
RCCP. Yeah. So this will be basically the tactical capacity planning.
Yeah, the tactical planning, but not the rough cut. Rough cut is something different.
Operational, yeah.
Yes, it is in the operational side. This is a part of, supply planning, one portion of supply planning. All right.
Yes.
So we have already saved it. We go back. Let us create one more. So now the second one, what I want to create is the final available capacity. Before that, let me create this consumed, because this final will be the difference of this and this. So consumed capacity Z capacity.
So can we expect any more key figures in the capacity planning, or whatever you have mentioned? These are fair enough.
No, I think it depends on the requirement. It may happen that they
Okay.
do not require this as well,
Okay.
because there are some standard available, like capacity utilization. All that you will see that they are already available as a part of standard. So if I
Uh-huh.
just duplicate it, in the meantime, let it open. Let us just consumed capacity. And base planning level of this, let me give it as the, again, the Z, whatever we have created. So just type Z week, should come automatically. It's not coming. Let me, okay. This one, okay, now it would have opened. So now here, if you search, so this one, as we know that we have copied it for, so capacity utilization something. So this is capacity utilization. This is standard one. It is already there. There are other overload, capacity, all that related to. So capacity overload. This is an alert kind of key figure. Capacity supply expansion. So a couple of this we will use it in our when we go to the core topics such as supply planning, or our heuristic and optimizer will use these key figures there. So most of the time, the standard will be suffice. So what we are learning here, not only related to capacity planning, there can be some requirement, just a simple key figure we need to create. So if we learn this, we can, uh, be able to create those key figures as a part of the requirement, right? So why we are taking this capacity planning? Because this is a general topic that it will be easy for us to understand, and later point of time when we go to the core topic of capacity, that time also you'll be able to relate this concept. So, these all are interrelated with each other. Okay, Jay.
Yeah, just thank you.
All right. So this is the consumed capacity that I want to take. And for now, I'll
So what
write
are the
some, yeah,
sorry, HS, the characteristics, some other settings are here. So what are the things you have to do? Just little
yeah,
up.
you just
Yeah,
have
here.
to
Okay, yeah, you
tell
explained that. Not really job. Yes, got it.
yeah, so we spoke about it. So if you want to make it, editable or all editable, all that stuff, you can actually do it here.
Is the F1 button works here or doesn't work?
F1, no, it doesn't work actually,
Okay.
doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, this
So
characteristic confused me. We have in BW characteristics and key figure. So, but this is the property of properties here. It means, right?
yeah, I'll tell you one mantra, the basic mantra is sometimes, you have to unlearn and then learn.
Yeah,
So follow
yeah,
that mantra. Yeah. So to relate, it will be good, but not every time. Yeah.
every
It may
time. Yeah.
confuse you. Yeah. So sometimes you just forget some things. So that will be for your benefit. All right. So what we'll do is we will make this key figure as a calculated one as well, and then write some calculation in it. So in order to make it calculated, what I'll do is I'll go to this drop down section and I can make it as calculated. So if I'm making this consumed capacity as calculated, it means that I want to write some calculation in it. I selected it, and then if I want to write some calculation, this does not make me any sense that I will keep it as editable, because according to the calculation, it will by default, it will just calculate. So it means that if I'm keeping the key figure as calculated, the edit allowed will be, grayed out. So now here by default, as we have learned, the request level will already be there. I can just add the calculation definition here. So what I want to do is, let us stay for 5 more minutes, guys. So what I want to do is, I want to also keep this flag wherever that flag. This flag is nothing but this maintenance start period, right? This flag is 1 or 0. So if I just give it as maintenance start period, so what it will do is, let's say that not in every week I'll have that maintenance period, right? Only in few weeks I'll have that maintenance period, and there I can mark it as 1 wherever that maintenance period is there. So this maintenance start period is at what level? It is at the level, the same level with where that job ID is also extended. So let's say that for this dry wash and this stuff, I have this maintenance start period as 1 in this week, 1 in this week, and there is nothing in this week. And similarly, for the chemical wash, this maintenance start period, I don't want to do it in this week, I have it only in this week. So let's say that, the duration, what I'm doing is, we also have a duration here, which is this one. We extended this as a key figure, right? So duration is number of hours that you're, let's say that 8 hours is a shift. So in a week, let's say that you have 5 working days, so 40 hours in a week. So let's say that this is your duration, maintenance job duration. So maintenance job duration, let's say that this is 40 hours here, 40 hours here. What we want to achieve here is, wherever is the maintenance period. So now you see that maintenance start period, or you just call it as maintenance period. This is your maintenance period. So wherever you have this flag on, it will take, the number of duration for that particular period. Meaning you want to have the maintenance period for the dry wash in week 1, but not for the chemical wash. So what logic I want to write, I want to tell to the system wherever is the flag. So the flag is at the dry wash. So consider the job duration only for the dry wash. Do not consider it for the, for the chemical wash, because I don't have the maintenance period. In the next week, in the next week, I have for both, for dry as well as chemical wash. So consider this. So it will club both, it will take it as 80. So this is what I want to write the logic, in my key figure. So what I'll do is, let me save this, because this is what we will, continue it in our next class. Save it with some name. I'll do it as key figure creation. More options. Yeah, let me save it at the desktop itself. Okay. So later, once we complete it, I'll also, paste this in our this one. So what we'll do as of now, let me just save it till wherever we have done, and we'll resume this exercise in our next class. It is giving me some, some issues because
Thank you. Good day.
yeah. So we'll stop it here for today, and then we will resume this. So I hope guys you are able to follow up. Jay, okay, Tony
Yeah, I
also, yeah. So Tony, your full name is Rajneesh Tony, right? Am I correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, because I have that list. I just want to make sure the attendance as well. Yeah, all right, guys. Thank you for your time today, and we'll meet in the next session
All
with
right.
some.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.